Hey guys, welcome back to my new video. So today we'll talk about something which is very much important, and what is that we'll understand in the middle of the video. But let me talk about one thing. It is something that we have observed whenever we try to speak, and we are very much filled with confidence. At that time, what will happen is we will feel like, okay, this is the topic that has been assigned and we are going to speak on this topic, and definitely we are going to hold the topic, and we will be speaking a lot of sentences, and definitely, and those sentences that will be coming out of my mind, like mouth, will have the uniqueness that people will be waiting for to listen my sentences. So how it will happen? And one thing, as I said, you are very much confident, okay, but the problem is whenever you go and you try to speak, you start running out of the sentences, or what you do is you had to pick the right vocabulary or the right sentence you had to speak, but you do not speak the right vocabulary or the right sentence. You forget to use the right vocabulary or the sentence, and this is what happens. And this is what I was telling you, that this is the observation that I have observed when you try to speak, and you do not differentiate which vocabulary will be the appropriate here, and which sentence you need to speak, so that the sentence that you are going to speak will definitely will describe appropriately, as you wanted this sentence to have something uniqueness, so that anybody who would be listening to you would have listened something. Got it? Okay, so we'll understand. We have understood what is the reason behind it. No, not reason. We have understood that this is the observation that we have observed in, like, any learners, or suppose talking about ourselves, that we have to speak at that time, we do it. So why it is happening, why we are not able to differentiate between two vocabularies, which will be the right vocabulary for this sentence to articulate this, something like that. Okay, so it is because of the presence of mind is not present there, it is deactivated. Now the time is to activate it, because see, brother, what will happen? Definitely presence of mind means what? Because suppose your mind is alert, okay, like active, at that time what will happen? Suppose you have to speak anything, so your mind will sense, okay, this is the sentence or this is the vocabulary that I have to pick, because I had studied about it. I had been told that if you are going to speak anything, so this is the right vocabulary it would be you have to use. Okay, so it is happening, whenever we are going to speak, we are not able to differentiate between two sentences, two vocabularies or words, that this is the right. So our presence of mind is not involving, or our presence of mind is not active, and that is why it forgets, it skips that, okay, I don't know, so what will happen, which you didn't have to use, but you would have used that. Okay, so it is happening because of this. Now the time is to activate it, so that you differentiate and you use the right vocabularies. So what you will do to activate it, will understand. See, first of all, once again I will involve it, and that is practice, man. Because brother, I know, suppose you study anything very very well, but the problem is you do not repeat that, or you do not repeat the same thing again and again. Don't you think your mind, even if I talk about our minds, so our minds, we have to involve our minds, so that our minds think perfectly. This is what you have to do, brother, and definitely if you will do it, means you will stick to practice, what will happen, you will see those sentences first definitely will get ignored, but later on, like after attempting that twice or thrice, maybe in some circumstances with some learners, it has been noticed that it takes a lot to register that, or to, of course, get familiarized with that. So this is what you have to do. But one thing which is very much, I would say, clear, that is that you have to stick with the same thing, with the same vocabulary, with the same sentence multiple times. You have to keep on practicing, so that what will happen, the same thing will register in your mind, and after that mind, after that, definitely your mind will be active, and your mind will definitely be able to differentiate, and will able to pick the right vocabulary, will able to pick the right sentence to describe anything. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. It is happening. Even if I talk about our first language, suppose if I talk about myself, in my case, I speak Hindi language. Okay, talking about my fluency, so of course I can say I'm able to speak in Hindi. Suppose I have to uh, talk about anything, I have to guide anyone, or I have to get my things done, at that time I will be able to get my things done, or I will be able to navigate myself, or navigate anybody else. Okay, here what is happening that see, you are like fluent in this language because you must have repeated the same thing, the same sentence again and again, and that is why your mind has understood that okay, this is the right sentence, because I have noticed the same sentence is spoken by people. Whenever people have to speak, people have to describe their minds or something like that. So in this situation, what is happening, you must have noticed when I was speaking, you must have noticed that I am emphasizing one sentence again and again, even in our first language in which we are fluent, that the same sentence used to be repeated, and then we learned this. So it happened because of the repetition. So why you are afraid of repeating the same sentence, the same vocabulary again and again? Because you have to be familiar with the same thing, and once you will be like you will be familiar with the same thing, don't you think your mind will be able to sense the right vocabulary, that okay, this person has been speaking this sentence, this vocabulary for a long time. So at that time what will happen, that must have registered in your mind, of course, and your mind will sense okay, I had noticed that this person, whenever this person had to speak anything, so uh, this person, uh, this person used to use it. Okay, something like that. So it is happening because of the repetition, man. So you have to, even if I talk about my all videos I have uploaded so far, you must have noticed in my all videos I keep on speaking about repetition, because this is the key of familiarizing yourself with anything. Okay, and once you will be comfortable with the same thing, then definitely, brother, your mind will be able to choose, your mind will be able to differentiate between these two things, like okay, this is the right thing, and if something occurs related to this, at that time your the involvement of your mind will definitely get involved, and will sense okay, this is what has to speak, and definitely your mind will pick that, and will definitely speak that. This is what you have to understand, and hopefully you would have understood perfectly, and hopefully I won't have complicated it. This is the thing that I'm trying to make you understand, and hopefully guys you would have understood. And of course now the time is to stick to repetition, because repetition will lead to activation of the mind, and definitely, brother, you will notice it after some like days or months, your mind must have activated. At that time you will see your mind will be able to pick the right sentence, and will help you to speak the right sentence, and the choice of vocabulary will definitely be chosen perfectly. This is what you have to understand. Now this is what I wanted to speak, and I have spoken. Now the time is to wrap up the video, and utilize your time, utilize yourself, utilize your resources you are surrounded by, so that you learn this language faster, and you do not find yourself that you are stuck somewhere. This is what you have to get out of that zone, and just bombard your sentence. It doesn't matter, even if I talk about brother mistakes, don't worry for the mistakes you are likely to make. You just go and conquer that with mistakes. Over time everything will get, of course, fixed. You just have to be on the track and keep on speaking. I will definitely